My grandfather, John C. Glover, affectionately known as Pappy, passed away before I was born. And although I didn't have the privilege of knowing him, I became acquainted with him through the eyes of my father and the stories that he shared with me over the years. One such story that really took root in my heart was born out of the years of the Great Depression. My grandfather was a successful businessman. Some would have said that he was a wealthy man in his day. He owned the local grocery store in the town of Hickman, Kentucky. When the Great Depression hit, my grandfather was able to keep the shelves stocked with the much-needed groceries. He would allow those who could not afford to pay for their groceries to sign an invoice with a promise to pay. As the days went by and the Depression ended, there were some who came back to pay, but then there were many more who never came back to pay. My dad witnessed many days of my grandfather pulling out those invoices, flipping through them, and then they would go back under the counter. As my father shared this story, I began to realize and cherish to this day what a wonderful man my grandfather was, a man of character, integrity, and a love for others. He could have lived in bitterness and in anger and regret, but instead, one day, he pulled those invoices out for the last time. He gathered them up along with a box of matches, went out the back of the store, struck a match. They went up in flames, and as they did, my grandfather raised both hands and said, "I am free."